Peg City Soundoff live on a Thursday night. And on November 26th at the Burt, the Strumbellas are going to be playing, going to be in town, which is great news. And the news got that much better when I saw that the Honest Heart Collective were touring with them and that they were added to the bill. So I wanted to have one of them, one of the founding members here, Ryan from the Honest Heart Collective. How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing very good, thank you. And I probably wanted to talk to you since I started this podcast. Was kind of waiting for an opportunity. I've been a big fan of the Honest Heart Collective for probably at least a couple of years. I was trying to think about when I first heard of you. I think it was when you were touring with Texas King, maybe, and you had played with the Northern Royals one time.
Yeah, that
But
was a couple years ago. Yeah, I remember that one.
yeah, somewhere around there, I discovered some of your music and Lonely Bones, and yeah, big
Thank
fan
you.
ever since. So
Thank you so much.
no problem. And you guys have accomplished a lot. So you've been a band now for about 10 years, or it is exactly 10 years. Like, I don't
No,
know
I
exactly
think
when it was
it's been
founded,
like
but
we started. We played our first gig October of 2013. So we're looking at like 12 years now.
wow, 12 years. Okay, so it's
Yeah.
even longer than I thought. So
Yeah.
you guys have really survived the test of time, if you will, for independent bands who had to deal with that, even past the pandemic and everything like that. I know a lot of bands either started right after the pandemic or bands that have been going for a long time kind of kept stopped at that time or kind of broke up around that time. So
Yeah.
just looking back at when you had started the Honest Heart Collective, is this kind of what you envisioned for the band, or kind of
Uh,
what? How are things going now based on what you thought back then?
I mean, I guess like I started the thing and I thought it was gonna be a little easier, I think, than it was,
Yeah,
when I grew up playing music, and I was like 14 years old and I was opening for every hardcore or emo screamo band that would come through town. Um, it just kind of seemed like there was a way of doing things. You saved up a bunch of money and you bought a van and you toured and you
yeah,
just like booked and you try to play as many shows as you could and you just slogged it out. Um, and that's what we did when we started. I mean, I guess it was like 10 years later than or 8 years later. When we started the band, I was 22 years old. We were touring. And we just kind of played everywhere we could. Um, but it's and we just thought, like, okay, we book our own tours. All right, we start selling stuff out. And we were doing everything that, we'd go to Canadian Music Week and we'd play
hmm
showcases there and we would go to see all the panels, the manager panel, the agent panel, the label panel. And, everybody's question was, well, how do you get an agent? How do you get a record deal? Like all of these stuffs. And they would give you these answers that were things like, sell 100 tickets in your own town. Start by that,
okay,
doing that. Sell 100 tickets in your own town. Sell 50 tickets in the town next to yours. And like we were already doing that. It was like 2015. We put our first record out.
hmm
We were selling. We had tickets. We were ticket value from Winnipeg to Toronto, basically to Ottawa, really, in that kind of region. And we were just pounding the pavement, and it took a long time to get to like the lower middle class, of this. Not that like we ever got into this for the money by any stretch, but we're not making like my brother and I don't make any money doing this.
yeah,
Um, and that's just kind of the state of the industry. It's the state of streaming
hmm
versus, owning records and buying records. It's like it's everything has changed so much, and it's changed so
yeah,
much since we started the band till now. Like,
absolutely.
we put
Changed a
our
few times, I would say.
yeah, like we put our record out on iTunes. That's a sounds like a dinosaur to say that now. That was our first record
hmm
was out on iTunes, and like I don't know, it's tough. It's been hard, to kind of maintain it, you grow up and you're 22 years old and you have less responsibilities and it's easier to devote so much time into it, um, but you're not very good yet, and you can get good and you do things. Like, we built pretty much everything we have off of, one night a week, was, like, when we had,
Yeah.
like, a full like, the full band and lineup all lived here. Um, so that's
Yeah, it's
basically
so hard, especially with that many people. It's so hard to find everyone
well,
time
and
to
the thing is
commit to
y
everything.
yeah, and, like, you get people to commit for, like, a period of time, like, 10 years is no like,
Hmm.
Kevin and Jay were in the band for 10 years, like, that's no joke.
Yeah.
Like,
No, for
that's
sure.
like, we tried and we all had, maybe we had different opinions on how we should do it, and it was kinda and, near the end, it got a little bit more difficult, but, like, we all tried and we gave it our best shot, to make that work as the 4 of us, and, um, at the end of the day, like, people have responsibilities, girlfriends, rent due,
Yeah,
um
life changes.
and life changes, and, like, so
Yeah,
I started the band at 22, I'm now 34 years old, um, and yeah, life's a lot different, and the industry's a lot different, and, like,
for sure.
I definitely thought when I started this thing that I would be further down the road than I am now, like, there's no I'm not gonna sugarcoat it by any stretch, like, I didn't think we were gonna be the biggest band in the world, but I thought that, we'd be making a living just doing this
Yeah, you can be dependent
by
on
the
the music.
10-year mark, right? Um,
Yeah,
but, like, you learn so much, and it's just and it everything changes, and it's not just about touring, and it's about social
for
media,
sure.
it's like, it's doing, like I don't know, there's some bands out there that are doing some fucking cringy stuff, like, that I'm just like, "There's no world in which you'll
Yeah,
get me to do that." I'd rather go do something else, like, we're here to play music, we're here to put on shows, we're here to, make music videos and make records and do things that
yeah,
are important to people, like, I don't give a
for
fuck
sure.
about TikTok, It's weird, but you have
Yeah, that's fair.
to, like play this game, and I don't know,
Yeah,
I feel like I feel like it's easy for people to, like, think that this is just how it is now, but it's not how it is because there are those, like and that this is the thing that frustrates me the most about it is that those
mhm,
people who still found bands, you know, through conventional means, by, like, going to shows or by listening to the radio or
mhm.
playlists or, like, the
Or I
conv
found you guys by just knowing another band and just you guys
100%,
came
like,
up
that
and
that
yeah,
still exists, and those people are
for
still
sure.
out there, and I feel like the industry is just neglecting, um, actual music fans and what music fans actually want out of
Yeah,
they what they want, and I'm not saying that the Honest Heart Collective is the answer to, what rock and roll needs right now or what rock and roll fans actually want, but it's one of those things where, like, do you really give a shit what I had for breakfast? Like,
yeah. If you're gonna find the Honest Heart Collective, you're gonna find them for their music, or like you said earlier, maybe a music video, or even an interview like this, something
yeah,
like that.
like, there's
Not a 15-second video is what you're saying.
no, and exactly, and it's like we're more than a 15-second band, and we've had videos, like,
Yeah, for sure.
video clips that have gone, I wouldn't say viral by any stretch, but we've had, like, successful, some successful reels and TikToks and stuff like that. But, like, it never lasts. It's like those people aren't gonna buy a T-shirt, and those people aren't gonna come to a show, so why the fuck do I care,
Yeah, exactly.
right? And, like, that's the one thing um, about the industry is just, like, that's just kind of so many that's for some reason that they've decided that that's, like, the all-encompassing thing. That's what's so
Yeah.
important. Um,
You know,
like
I was just talking to another band from, or I just had an interview with another band from Thunder Bay called the Fixer recently.
oh,
Really
yeah,
good
yeah,
band, great.
yeah, metal band.
Yeah, absolutely. Put on a great performance, really good stage presence, I think is what I'm trying to say here. So
Yeah.
that's another thing you've kind of seen grow, or that you've been able to kind of be a part of growing, is the Thunder Bay music scene. How would you say that's doing right now, or even just how has it changed in the
It's
past 5 years,
I
10
mean,
years?
it's tough. It's like it's different because like before, we used to have like we're not even really a part of it, like, that's anymore, which is, like, because
Okay,
we don't have a lineup in town, right? Like, our drummer lives in
fair.
California.
Okay, that's
Uh,
kind of what I was at.
we
Yeah.
don't have a full-time lead guitar player, so, like,
Okay.
we used to play on the strip here, like, my studio's on Red River Road, where I'm at right now, and we used to play all the time, uh, like, every 6 weeks, we were playing bar gigs, and, like, we were around, and, I mean, when we were kids, fuck, like, the music scene was, uh, really bumping, there was
Okay.
bands coming through on tour all the time, there was local bands coming up, there was new bands happening, you know, things were working, you know, we built something, you know, the band I was in this band called Amelia, and, you know, friends of ours were in this band called This Audience, and, like, we were opening for big bands, you know, like, I've opened for,
Hmm.
you know, Bring Me the Horizon, uh, Architects, Protest the
Yeah.
Hero, Cancer Bats, just, like, bands that went on to be massive bands. Um, and unfortunately, that scene kinda just died off, you know, and, like,
Okay.
we still like the Black Pirates Pub, which is actually a bar that a
Hmm.
lot of bands play at, still going, still around here, still on like, it's in the same building as I am right now.
Oh,
Um
okay.
yeah, and it slaps. It's great. Great room, cool vibe. They started bringing some touring bands back through, but it's just like there isn't a
Hmm.
whole lot of like a scene, um, like there used to be. You know,
Yeah, tough to get momentum going there
yeah,
right
and,
now. It
like,
sounds like, or
Facebook, like,
multiple states.
we had this thing called, and it's still a website, called tbshows.com, and it's a concert listings for
Okay.
all the concerts that are happening in Thunder Bay, and back in the day, there used to be a forum part of it, where, like, just like a message board kinda thing where you would make a thread and post about your shows, and it was really cool because there was, like, more of a community that way where it wasn't like Facebook and Facebook comments or whatever, it was just, like, you could go
Yeah.
on and, like, people would talk about the shows, they'd critique it, I mean, fuck, my band got dogged on so many times on there because, like, we
I'm sure
weren't
lots of them
like
did.
yeah, and lots of them did, like, we weren't very good, you know,
Yeah.
like, at the time, like, we're 14-year-old kids trying to make it work, but, you know, kids would come out to see us play, so we got spots, and, like but it was different because there was that scene and that community, was there, and there was, like, a debrief
Hmm.
after the show type of thing, and you'd go home, and you'd wait to see what the comments were and, like, what people had to say, and, like, yeah, people were fucking honest, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. People be
They
honest on the
they were
internet,
very honest
or at least what they think. Honest with what they think.
from the comfort of their keyboard, but,
Yeah,
you learned a lot, you know? Like, I learned a
for
ton,
sure.
and that just kinda doesn't really exist that much anymore, up here, which I
Hmm.
find sad, but it was this, like, very special time and place that I get to be a part of, and, you know, like, shows still happen, there's still cool bands in town, but as far as, like I find that there's little scenes, you know,
Yeah,
that are still around and are doing cool things, but there's not like a big overarching like scene anymore. But yeah, like it's really cool. It's cool to see you know, another band like The Fixer going out and touring. Like anybody, you know,
yeah. They put on a great show for sure.
there's another artist in town named Sarah Kay. Um there's a couple, there's a handful of artists that are touring and recording and trying to make a go at it, and I have nothing but respect and admiration for anybody who wants to take a swing at this.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
you were mentioning how far back that kind of goes for you, and you've had the same name, the Honest Heart Collective,
Yep.
the entire time. What was the original concept behind the name for people who don't know?
Yeah, so I originally didn't think that I could get anybody to, like, sign up to be in this band and tour with me full time.
Yeah.
So the idea was it was like Ryan McDonald and the Honest Heart Collective would be like my backing band. That was kind of the
Okay.
original concept so that it wouldn't matter who was playing with me. Like I could have, you know, my buddy Derek playing drums or my buddy Jay playing drums or
Hmm.
whoever, and like it wouldn't matter, you know, it wasn't like who's in
Yeah.
the band, who's doing this. It was, you know, supposed to kind of be a solo artist, like Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band was kind of the inspiration behind that.
Okay.
But then very quickly, like it kind of like Nick wasn't going anywhere, and Jay was in, and Kevin was in, and so it was just like, well, I guess that concept's through the window. But now it's kind of it's very much kind of like the, you know, we're back to the intended, you know, the originally intended purpose of having the name,
Yeah, at the moment at least.
you know, yeah, because like I mean, we have a new drummer who's in the band, Rob. He's great. But yeah, we don't have a guitar player that we play with regularly. Our buddy
Hmm.
and designer, one of our best friends, Keenan, has been playing guitar for us most of the year. Our producer Derek Hoffman did a tour with us last year. My good buddy Jonas Lewis Henson from a band called The Wilderness, based out of Kingston. They just played their
Okay, yeah, I've heard of them.
yeah, they just played their last shows a couple weeks ago, but so he's gonna be joining us playing guitar on this tour. So, yeah, it's been nice getting to play with musicians. I mean, before Rob joined the band,
Yeah,
we played with a couple other guys, who were all great and all filled in and did a great job. So uh, that's kind of the new standard. But yeah, it's tough. Like we don't have a
that's the
band here.
setup right now.
Yeah, we don't have a band here in town. Like we can't just, you know,
Yeah. Hmm.
you know, if one of the bars downtown asks us to play, like we can't just drop everything this weekend, fly everybody
Yeah,
over.
it has to be arranged a little easier, or a little bit more. Yeah,
There's a lot more thought that has to go into things about like what we're
for
doing
sure.
and why we're doing it. So yeah.
Really quick, just because you mentioned Bruce Springsteen there, I know that he was a big motivation for you, or I guess inspiration would be the word when you had gone to see a concert of his. Have you seen any of the trailers for the movie
I,
that's
I
upcoming
saw
about him?
I saw the movie on opening night.
Oh, you have seen it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I saw it. I saw it. I thought it
What
was
did
good.
you think?
I gave it a 7 out of 10. I think
Yeah, what did you think about Jeremy Allen White?
I
That's some
think I think
crazy shoes to fill.
yeah, I think he did a great job. I mean, like Springsteen, especially in that era, was kind of this like quiet weirdo. He played
Hmm.
music. He was very introverted. He didn't drink. He didn't do drugs. Like
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
pretty much that was music was his thing. And yeah, I feel like there was some parts that might have seemed a little like melodramatic in
yeah.
it,
You're gonna get that in movies.
but like that's gonna happen. I mean, it's tough, right? Because like every biopic kind of follows a formula. You know, there's
Hmm.
like the cradle to grave sort of aspect to them where it's like the back,
Yeah,
you know, the origin story all the way to the end of the career, or you know, at something like that. And there's usually this part at the in the conflict in the, you know, end of the second act, beginning of the third, where uh
yeah, exactly.
you know, they fall into drugs or crime or, you know, alcoholism, just like all of these things, and that like
Yeah,
they didn't really have that, you know. I know that the whole love storyline in there, like that wasn't real. That never happened. So I know that. Spoiler
it's
alert,
funny
I
too.
guess.
Not to interrupt you, but it's funny too because I know for some of it they said that they actually had Springsteen on set while they're filming a lot of it, literally
A
just
hundred,
watching it being filmed. So it's kind of funny that they're
yeah.
taking liberties, or even
Well,
just Jeremy Allen White having to deal with somebody watching him who he's literally trying to act as.
yeah. I mean, I think that all just comes down to you got to have like sometimes real life is boring, you know, like so
Yeah,
you
for
need to
sure.
have, you know,
Hollywood thinks so for sure.
yeah, I mean, but it is, like, it's just, you know, sometimes real life is just it's not fun to watch, so they, you know, they kinda had to drum up like, there was a conflict in the time between the label and, like,
Hmm.
wanting to do all like, wanting to put out Nebraska and all this stuff, but, like, the idea that they introduced the love interest so that they could try to show his depression by withdrawing from that, um, as opposed to, like, what may have really happened or, like, what he really
Yeah,
went through.
or I
Um,
was yeah,
like, yeah, they tried. I mean, I think it suffered from a little bit of writing, but I think visually it was incredible. I'm really glad I saw it in the theater. The
yeah,
music was incredible. I think a
yeah.
lot
His
of
singing sounds spot on.
oh, bang on. I think a lot of the
It's
side
impressive.
characters, like, absolutely crushed it. You know,
Hmm.
like, Jeremy Strong killed it as like, John Landau for his, like, little as a John Landau was a weird guy, little weirdo,
Hmm.
you
Yeah,
know?
a lot of
And
weird guys in that
yeah,
movie,
and he
probably.
crushed it. Mark Maron crushed it as the recording engineer. um, I forget the guy's name all the time, but the guy who records, um, the actor who played his friend who recorded Nebraska with him in the bedroom, he crushed it. Like, every single time those characters, like, really like, they really shone, and it
Yeah.
definitely lifted up the movie for me. So, yeah, that's my quick review of Deliver Me From Nowhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I wanted to, like I said, I wanted to bring it up because I know you're a Springsteen fan, so for sure. So going back to some of your music, I did want to talk at least briefly. I want to talk about your new music mostly, but I want to talk
Sure.
briefly as well about Grief Rights and such an amazing album with
Thank you.
um, yeah, no problem at all. It's outstanding with North American Dream, Where Her and I Began, Separate Ways. So many good songs on there, and still somehow Lonely Bones kind of seems like it stands out over them, or just in general, it's always kind of stood out.
Yeah, I mean,
Lonely Bones.
yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
Lonely Bones is a fun one because it was never a
Mhm.
single, um, but it was never a single ever. Jay, our old drummer, Jay loved it. He thought that that was gonna like,
Mhm.
he's like, "This is the best song on the record." He called it, but and it was never like, there was never a music video for it, there was never this, there was never that, um, and we'd released that record probably about 2 months before Spotify added the, submit for playlisting feature.
Oh, okay.
So when the
Yeah,
record came out, it was initially a bust. Like, nobody cared. It was like,
yeah,
we put all this work in. We had, you know, we had a booking agent at the time, who ended up dropping us, because it just, like, I don't know what happened. It just didn't work out. And that was so it was such
yeah.
a
Bad timing.
so, like, that so, like, the record came out, the tour flopped, we got dropped, and then, like, about a month after that, Spotify releases the playlist submission, and the music video for, North American Dream hadn't come out yet. So
Okay.
we put that video out, and I had a cheeky move, and I called our manager and I just said, "Well, what if we re-release North American Dream as a single and we submit it for playlisting?" And he's like, "That yeah, that could work." And we did, and it landed on some of the biggest playlists in Canada, like Canadian rock Spotify. And then
Yeah.
it also made like the Canadian Viral 50. So it was like the first
Nice.
song that,
Okay.
like, started to pop off. So then we released this, acoustic, performance video of Lonely Bones. So then we released Lonely Bones as a
Hmm.
single again, and that absolutely took off. It took off like crazy. Um, and we were, we that song has single-handedly floated our streams, for most of it. And it just kind of worked. And then
Yeah.
Spotify
It's a
ma-
great
some
tune.
then Spotify after shortly after that, Spotify closed the loophole. So
Mm.
we could no longer,
Couldn't release it a second time.
release it again, as
Yeah.
a
Okay.
single, like, you couldn't do that anymore, so, which, sucked, but I'm glad we got it in while we could.
Yeah. At least you had the chance, because yeah,
Yeah,
that's awesome. And it's a
so, yeah,
great song. So happy. Oh,
thank you.
both of them actually. I love both those tunes. So two of my
Yeah, and
favorites for
they
sure.
and that was just it, like, that record just needed a chance, like, that I think that record will go down in our history as, like, the one that really changed the game for us,
Yeah,
but
and
it's
it seems
funny.
like to me that it was literally because of the fans too. Like that's a record the fans latch on to. Anyone
Yeah.
who I know that knows your band, they can name songs. If nothing from nothing else, they can always name
From
from
that
Grief Rights.
record,
And yeah,
yeah, and,
it's a
like, that
solid record.
it was the first record that ended up working with 2 different producers on it, so, but then, Derek Hoffman, who produced the second half of the record, he mixed the whole record, so that's why
Okay.
it kinda has that cohesive feeling, yeah, I love that record, I love it to death, it's, 8 songs, it's the same length as Born to Run, that was kinda the idea behind it,
Hmm.
and, yeah, I'm really happy with, like, we got so many more opportunities after putting that record out, and we grew as a band because of it. uh,
Hmm.
way more than Liars Club, and the previous EP and everything like that. So yeah, it's that record will always hold a special place in all of our hearts for sure.
Have you guys changed the way that you play Lonely Bones live? I mean, obviously you played it so many times, but do you play it, I don't know, faster or differently at all, or do you think you
No,
kind of just always played it about the
I
same?
think it's pretty
Maybe
much
just tighter now.
the same. Yeah, there's no like
Okay.
there's no oh, sorry, forgive me. Yeah,
No, no worries.
there's no like we don't have a keyboard player anymore.
Hmm.
So all the like the keyboard
Okay.
parts, the acoustic guitar parts aren't really there, but it's pretty much been the same the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then just recently, just to jump a bunch of songs here, like I said, I could talk about your old music all for the rest of the
All
episode. So
good. Yeah.
I'll jump to the newer stuff before I ramble on. But you recently in September, this past September, released
Yeah.
Outrun.
Yeah.
It's outstanding single. I've been playing it over and over. And kind of a
Oh,
look into
thank you so
my
much.
playlist. It came out, or at least I heard it the same time that I heard a single from All Time Low called The
Okay,
Weather.
cool. Yeah.
And for some reason, those two songs, every time I play one, I play the other now, since I kind of
Nice.
discovered them at the same time.
Oh, that's great.
But it seems like every album you have released kind of has either an underlying theme, or maybe a better
Mhm.
way to put it is kind of a look into your mood and kind of how you're feeling at that moment.
Yeah.
For Outrun, kind of where does that come from? Do you think, or what was the mentality with that song?
It's like growing up and realizing that you are running out of time. You're running out of time to accomplish the your dreams or the things that you want. The everyday life just seems to just creep up on you. Those responsibilities, those dependents, the things that you need to do, that have to get done before you can do anything else like that those are the things that you just can't outrun. um and Yeah, it's tough. It's kind of this like we sort of we sort of started kind of with Suffocate was kind of the first time I wrote
Okay.
something that was like very introspective about giving up on your dreams and like how that's like the thing that's killing you. Um and That was kind of the catalyst. It Suffocate didn't end up making the new batch of songs, um, just because of timing. Like everything got like this s- Outrun comes from a batch of songs that we recorded in 2023.
Okay.
Yeah, we started recording May of 2023. So like that was it was supposed to kind of be the quick, fast, dirty follow up to Suffocate. But then it just didn't end up working out that way. We
Hmm.
had a bunch of tours. We started doing stuff in the US. We started doing stuff at other places. And
Yeah.
then Yeah, and then we were gearing up to start putting stuff out, and then that's when the boys left. Um, so yeah, so that's kind of the whole thing of why it kind of set everything back. And it's funny, right?
Hmm.
They left when they departed, then we got every opportunity we could. We went on tour with Royal Tusk,
Nice.
um, we went on tour with Matthew Good, we played Frank Turner's festival, we played,
Nice.
All Your Friends Fest in Toronto. Like, we had the busiest year we've ever had. We did
Yeah.
we
Wow.
did that tour with Texas King. Um, yeah, so
Yeah, it seems like you two are kind of linked. I've seen you tour with them a couple
yeah,
times, if I'm not
we're
mistaken.
definitely kind of, yeah, we are very much connected, as far as
Hmm.
the
For sure.
Ontario music scene goes. Friendly rivalry, if you will. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, so that's kind of the main thing, is just trying to um figuring out this next batch of songs. And so yeah,
Yeah.
Outrun, as far as that goes, is just bringing it back to that, is this tune about just saying fuck it, just rolling with
Hmm.
it and doing the best you can.
Nice. Well, it sounds like honestly, not that you intended to, but it sounds like you released it right at the right time, then, just based on what you're saying or everything that's kind of going on with
Yeah.
trying to reestablish parts of the band too, which is exactly why they, like you said, some of the band members had to leave just because
Yeah.
they had their own responsibilities or things going on. No, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, yeah, so it's a great little number. I'm really proud of that
Yeah,
one,
absolutely.
and the rest of the songs that are coming to follow are gonna be really fun. So,
So that
there's
was my next question: is if it was going to be kind of a standalone single, the way "Suffocate" ended up being,
no,
or there'll be
no,
more songs coming soon. It
we
sounds like.
got there's a whole bunch of stuff in the coming down the pipeline.
Awesome. Awesome. That's great to hear. And then just quickly, while we're still talking about Outrun,
Sure.
talk about the music video a little bit. I thought it was a great music video.
Thank
I watched it a while back. I watched it again today just to kind of
Yeah,
stay refreshed on it.
that was
And
all
also probably a good way to introduce Robbie to the band as well,
that's exact
or
that
maybe
was
Robbie to everyone else.
That's exactly the whole concept. My brother Nick came
Hmm.
up with that idea. He was trying to think of a way that would be kind of a tongue-in-cheek way of introducing Rob to the band, and that like the only way we could get somebody to join our band is if we kidnapped and brainwashed them, so that
Yeah.
we turned that into like a full-fledged concept. And so there was like a lot of ideas. We've been working with this great video team. Uh, Scott McKay and Ryan Novak here in Thunder Bay, and
Yeah.
you know, we just we listen to when we were picking what we're gonna do. Pick a song, we listen to it, and we go for a beer, and we just spitball ideas, and we think of like the wildest thing that we can do, like if money wasn't an issue. Um, and then we like kind of chisel away at that to make it more of a feasible thing, more realistic.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, you had
but
a really good background and setting and everything. I mean,
yeah,
the
we've been really
whole everything there is very beautiful, obviously, in that video.
thank you. Yeah, we've been really fortunate. Like the community is been incredible to us in giving. Like we haven't. I think we might have. I actually don't think we've shot a couple. There's a couple more music videos that we've done, and we haven't really had to pay for any locations as of yet. Like people are just
Mhm.
happy to be a part of it, and that we're happy that we're doing things again.
Awesome.
So yeah, so we're very grateful to the community of Thunder Bay and the arts community and the team that's being built. So that around this band right now, like Ryan and Scott
Hmm.
from Generator, the video company, they're just been crushing it, and yeah, we can't thank them enough. So
Awesome. That's
yeah.
wicked. And what was it like running down the highway while playing guitar as well? That must have been
Oh,
interesting.
it took a while. Took a while. It was that
Yeah.
yeah, my feet were sore for sure. Um,
Yeah.
you know,
I can imagine.
I like to think I'm a relatively in shape human being. Um, and yeah, that was a lot for me. So
Yeah, I can imagine. What time of year was it shot?
we shot that. I think that we shot that one in June.
Okay.
We shot it in June, like early June. It was at early morning. I think we were up at we were there at the on location at like 7 o'clock to catch the light. And we took we took the day off. I think my favorite part about the video is the dichotomy between how bright and green and lush everything looks
Hmm.
at the beginning
Yeah.
versus how everything looks, how like dark and hazy everything is once we get to the warehouse. Um,
Yeah, I agree.
the elevator shot, straight out of The Hangover. Um,
Yeah.
the bag over his head. It was just like, yeah, I was really excited. I'm really happy with the way that video turned out. It's a fun video. It kind of shows a bit more of a lighthearted side of us.
For
Um,
sure.
and like kind of all the videos sort of do that are coming. Uh, there's just like a cool, I don't know, there's just something fun about it and getting to work with it and
Yeah, definitely. You can tell. Well, you can tell when you're watching it,
yeah, and there's, like,
for
no
sure.
bad like, the other thing too is, like, we have a new rule where there's just, like, no bad ideas, that no there's no bad idea initially, like, we can
Hmm.
there's always something there that we can just kinda carve away at until we till we come up with the right thing for the song, and so
Yeah.
far, like, I haven't seen the 3rd one that we did, but I think we're 3 for 3 on this one, so
Absolutely. And who's ever shooting them, shout out to them as well because it
Yeah,
looks very, very well done. Like
thank you.
honestly, I can envision how much music back in the day. So
Yeah, that's the goal.
absolutely. For sure. Well, I'm excited to hear some of those new songs as they come out. Do we have a release date coming up for any of them, or just
I
not
th
something we know, or not something we can mention yet?
we got a little fun Christmas number coming out at the end of this month.
Oh yeah, I should have brought that up too. You guys have had some good Christmas songs over the
Yeah, so
years.
we're bringing that back.
Wicked.
Yeah, so we're doing a fun little Christmas number that,
That's awesome.
was produced by Nick and I and, mastered by Jay Moss, and,
Hmm.
yeah, artwork was done by Keenan Kozlowski, and so keep it a little secret as to what it is, just yet,
Yeah, that's fair.
but yeah, so that's coming out in
I
on
do appreciate. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I think
Sorry.
that comes yeah, it comes out on November 28th.
Okay, I was just gonna say I do appreciate that you released them close to Christmas as well. Not to harp on it. I think it was the Trues, like last year or 2 years ago, released a Christmas song in October.
Yeah, so
And I'm a big fan of the Trues, but I was like, what's going on there? I'm
yeah,
gonna wait to listen to that one, I think.
the problem with that is that, Spotify is now, in taking the, like is doing the playlist submissions for Christmas songs really,
Yeah,
really early. Um, so
that makes
if
sense.
you wanna catch that and, like, a Christmas song it's a cash grab, cash grab. There's not
Mhm.
they're fun and it's really great to do, and I really enjoy doing that, but yeah, it's a way to boost your streaming numbers and try to get onto
Yeah,
a
you're not
Christmas
playing it on
playlist.
stage year round usually. No, I
No,
hear you.
I don't think we've ever I think the only time we played a Christmas song was the first one we ever put out, and it was, during a
Okay,
live stream show in the like, back in the pandemic days. Um,
okay.
but yeah, like, it's a cash grab, plain and
No,
simple.
I hear you. But you guys do a good job with it. I really enjoy
Thank you.
the
Yeah,
Christmas
we
songs,
do
so that's awesome.
as much as it is does kinda feel a little, like, little corporate, little cash grabby, we do try to, like, make them fun and
It
put
fits
we
what you're doing, though.
well, we really wanna put effort into
I
it,
would say.
we don't not gonna
For
half-ass
sure.
something, like, there's a My Chemical Romance fuck Christmas
Yeah,
song, and I fucking love that band, but they think they just absolutely phoned it in,
yeah.
and so I don't wanna ever do that, so I would rather, like, go to the balls to the wall with something, um,
Hmm.
and make it,
You
like
guys always have for sure.
yeah, thank you, and just make it, like, something that the Honest Heart Collective can actually stand behind, so yeah, I'm really excited for this one.
And speaking of the name Honest Heart Collective, again, I know we mentioned earlier how long you've had the name. One other or a couple other things you've been able to put the name towards is I don't know if you still have it, but you had your own label for beer for a while there.
Yeah, yeah,
Is that something you still have, or was that just for a
no, we
certain
don't
amount of
that was
time?
just like
Or
a one-time thing, yeah, we still have
okay,
we don't have the beer anymore, but we do have, we still have our hot sauce with,
that's where I was going to go
with
next.
yeah, our collaboration with Heartbeat Hot Sauce,
Hmm.
so that's been really cool. I don't know, we merchandise like nobody else, we always have something fun,
For
going on.
sure.
So yeah, that's yeah, I still have the hot sauce. That'll be at the table for as long as they'll have us, so.
And I think you started a trend there because like you've been doing that for a long time now. And I remember maybe 2 or 3 years ago, bands started. I've seen a
Yeah,
lot of bands starting to do hot sauce and stuff like that. I know the Northern Royals out here have a really good mango habanero that they kind of collaborate with fruit-based hot sauces that come out.
oh,
But
nice. Yeah, no, so yeah,
yeah,
Heartbeat did a collaboration with Cancer Bats first, and
okay.
then they did a collaboration with us, and then they've gone
Well,
on
that's great to follow.
to do collaborations with, like, Meshuggah, Korn,
Hmm.
Dustin Poirier from the MMA fight
Oh, right, yeah.
champion, like, yeah, so they've been doing a lot of cool stuff since, so I'm really happy that we're, like, kind of a part of that story.
Yeah, it's really cool. And like I said, the names kind of just go together too. So
Yeah.
it's perfect there. Awesome. And I know you've worked in a bar in the past. When you're touring, do you have a favorite beer to go to, or are there local beers that you remember from Winnipeg or from somewhere else that you like
Uh,
to try
we
out?
we're all old now, and, primarily, um, we drink Miller Lite. That's pretty much
Fair. No, there's nothing wrong with
yeah, it's
that.
pretty much that. Yeah, nothing wrong with a good old crispy Miller Lite, but I do work for a brewery here in town called Lakehead Beer Company. Big shout out, Lakehead Beer.
Okay.
They make some of the best craft beer in the game. And I'm not just saying
Nice.
that because I'm the lead sales rep for the company, but I truly believe it and stand behind that product. And we have a great team, great vision, and
Awesome.
yeah, so that's our hometown brew. Our last show we did here in Thunder Bay, we did it out, they were like a concert venue kind of on the patio, um,
Okay. Nice. That must
and
have been good.
yeah, so we did a full band show out on the patio, hung the banner that under they have string lights, sold like 250 tickets. It was gorgeous. We filmed a bunch of it, so we're waiting to hear, from the video team, about that. And like we recorded the show, so we'll have a bunch of clips that'll go up on socials from that. Hopefully,
Awesome.
hopefully pretty soon. So yeah,
Awesome. Awesome. And as we mentioned at the top of the show, you're touring right now, or just about to, if you haven't started with the Strumbellas.
yeah,
How did that
couple,
come about? Is that something? Have you toured with them before, or is it the
yeah.
first
No,
time?
never toured with them before.
Okay.
But their singer used to be in their singer Jimmy used to be in a band called the Ascot Royals. Um,
Okay.
and another band called Kadima, and I think I'm trying to remember. I know we met them and saw them and hung out with them at the Rivoli in Toronto. So we've just kind of like
Okay.
followed each other ever since. So I'm not sure exactly how it came about, but um, and their agent who booked the tour reached out to me and asked if we would
Oh,
want to
nice.
open it.
That's
Is it
awesome.
same agent who did the Royal Tusk tour, same agent who got us on the
Okay.
Man Too Good tour. Um, so yeah, I just kind of reached out and said, "Hey, Strumbellers are going out Western Canada on these dates. Do you want the shows?" And we said yes, and we just like waited, kind of finagled a couple of details, and then yeah, so we're really
Awesome.
excited to go out and play with them, and we get to play in some bucket list rooms for us, like.
Yeah.
We get to play at the Burton Cummings Theater in Winnipeg, which, from being
Yeah.
from Thunder Bay, like that is one of the coolest rooms nearby. Always been a bucket list room for me. I saw the Gaslight Anthem play there 10 years
Oh,
ago.
no way. That must have been
Yeah.
wicked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that ever since I saw that show, I've been like, this is a room I want to play in for sure. Commodore Ballroom in Vancouver, same thing. Never been there, but
Nice.
everybody's played there. Everybody, you see that name all over. So yeah,
The
very
the sound in those ballrooms are like with the Burt. It's just like sorry, unlike any others. What I'm trying to say, I was
yeah,
just there
hundred
Saturday
percent.
to see Valley open for the Beaches there on
Yeah,
Saturday or
nice.
on Sunday. Sorry, they were there Saturday and Sunday, but I
Yeah,
was there
so,
Sunday. So
one of my best buddies, is, Brendan Kennedy, who is the Beaches no, not the Beaches, is Valley's front of house,
oh,
technique.
nice.
Yeah, so he mixed Valley
Yeah,
and
they were wicked. I didn't know too much about them before this
yeah,
tour, but they were really good. They put on a
yeah,
great show.
they're fantastic. They actually it's funny, they opened for us in at the Liars Club's Toronto CD release show at the Rivoli in 2015.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, it's crazy to see how far that they've come. It's really cool. I'm
Yeah.
really proud of them. So,
Yeah, they're doing awesome, and you'll be playing there as well, November 26th at the Burt. If
yeah,
you haven't seen the Honest Heart Collective before, they are amazing on stage. They have, like I said, if you haven't heard of them, go check them out on YouTube. The Outrun video, check it out on Spotify. I did want to mention as well, because I forgot at the top of our show, that we have a sponsor for the podcast today. That was a little gallery of big messes that I forgot to mention at the top. So I apologize there, but shout out to Mark with Little Gallery of Big Messes.
shout out Mark.
And absolutely great guy. And thanks for taking the time to talk with me, Ryan. Like I said,
No
this was one
problem,
I
Todd.
definitely had to do eventually, and I hope that we can talk again when you're coming back, or
Yeah,
even if you just have something you're releasing for sure.
for sure. Well, looking forward to seeing you at the Burt.
Absolutely.